YouTube, what's going on, guys? Lego PC back finally with another review. It's a little thick. I got a real review for you guys today. What we're gonna do is break down the eLeaf Lemo, not the Sigelli. We're not doing that yet. We're gonna do the Lemo. I've been vaping this exclusively for about 2.5 weeks now. It was recommended to check out by one of the viewers, so went ahead and did it. It's got real low juice in here right now because I'm just going to vape a few hits, talk about it, and then we'll break it down. I'm going to re-wick it for you, and yeah, we'll take a look at it. Nifty little device. Let's go over the packaging real quick. So it's going to come to you in a box like this. Cost me $29, but you got to watch for them because they're varying online right now quite a bit. Oh, it's hot. Whew, hot coffee. So I saw them jump around quite a bit. They were like 31 to 38, 39, depending on where you checked online. So I did wait a little bit, and then they dropped in price down to 29, so I picked one up. They are on Fast Tech for 31 for the original edition, so that tells you about the rough price. It's usually Fast Tech's going to be one of the cheaper prices. You're going to see the device comes in a little box like that, and then underneath, when you pull the slit out, it's going to have your user manual, how to set it up. There's the do-it-yourself guide. It comes with a little keychain. I don't think I have any of that stuff. I think I used most of it. Do I have any of it around here? Oh, might have been this one. Came with the wick and wire and everything. Now it does come pre-wicked, and actually the coil was pretty decent, so I left it on there. We're going to clean it off today because, like I said, I've been using it 2 weeks, so it's pretty gunked up. It also came with cotton already in it, which was pretty cool, so I basically wetted the cotton and went to work on it. And yeah, I was vaping like a dream so far. By the way, this Sigelli, I can't wait to do this review. This thing's a boss. Alright, so this Lemo. Let's talk about this Lemo. So I opted to go with the black one. What we're going to do is zoom up a little bit. Right into my chin hair, right there. That's what you guys want to see. Alright, so the Lemo. Very cool looking device. Kayfun-esque. I mean, it's very close to a Kayfun. You're going to see the removable drip tip right here. I have not tried another drip tip in here. I like how wide this one is, so I haven't really played with it, but you know, let's find out real quick. Okay, so your 510 drip tips do fit in there, no problem. I really like this one, and it looks really well, and it sits in there really well, so I haven't played with it. You can see the 4 air holes on the bottom here. Now something you're going to notice is if let's see if I can get it on camera in the light, possibly. Let's move that around. Nah, you can't really see it. So if you look at the air hole from an angle like this, if I tilt it towards you, you're going to see that you can see the metal blockage of how you do the airflow control. And when we dive down, I'll show you exactly how that works. But basically, you can see this knurling on the bottom here, and this is how you're going to pull this apart. It's got a adjustable 510 right there. Okay, pretty basic. Everything's pretty basic on this guy. Let's take this apart real quick. So if I take the base off, just the small base, you're going to see it's a juice collector. And there's my first complaint about it. Now, every video review I saw told me that it doesn't leak. So if you look at that, does that look like it leaks to me? To you? To me? Yeah. The fluid does come throughout the bottom. What this can do, which is the really annoying part, is it will mess with your ohm readings. So I have to clean this out at least twice a day to make sure that my ohm readings don't jump around, because anything like liquid, it conducts. So unfortunately it does collect quite a bit of juice in there, and you have to clean that out every once in a while. I like to do it at least a couple times a day. And what you're going to see on the bottom of this guy right here is the fill hole, which is a pain in the ass, and your 4 air holes, and this little screw right here in the middle. Now, it is loose, so I can turn it with my finger, and then I can tighten it all the way down. You're going to see a plus and a minus down there, and what that's supposed to signify is your airflow control. Okay? I have played with it and loosened it all the way up. I don't notice a huge difference in the airflow. However, if you do loosen it too much, your readings on your ohms will go off. So basically, I'm not sure how that works 100%, but I loosened it like to the max, where it was really wobbly in there, and my reading was coming up on my Sigelli at 0.2. So obviously that was incorrect. It's a 1.2 ohm in here. So you do have to be careful with that. Now, because that fill screw is recessed, it is a pain in the ass to get back in there. You have to use one finger to hold the screw and then the screwdriver to try to prop it back up in there. So it can be an absolute pain in the ass to fill, or at least take apart down there. So let's take this apart right here. I'm probably going to spill juice everywhere, so I probably should get a paper towel. Okay. And this has happened more times than not, is I actually don't pull the funnel out. What it ends up doing is just pulling the bottom piece out, which has happened a couple times. This glass is just press fit, so as soon as I pull it off, it just falls right off. The part that screws on, hang on one second. There we go. That part that screws on is actually the top of your funnel piece here. And I'm going to show you, before I drop it, fuck. Okay. That's the piece that screws on, is right there. It's got a little O-ring up there. A little juicy right now. So wipe that off real quick. And I accidentally just took the O-ring off. Don't do what I did. There we go. Go back on there. Okay, so that's what your funnel piece looks like. Very simple, just like a Kayfun. This can't unscrew it as two pieces. Okay, real basic stuff. Nothing special there. Alright. Here is your inside of your top cap. A little juice collector up there as well. I'm guessing that they put that little spot in there so that way the juice doesn't leak out when you flip it over to fill it. And what you're going to see here is interesting. See, the coil's so dirty it's actually started to corrode onto the wick. Let's see if we can get some focus there. The coil's really dirty. What you have is a little single coil in there. We're going to take that wick out and we're going to burn it up and get that gunk out of there. So let me pull this wick out real quick. Yeah, you can see she's quite dirty. Needed to clean. And you'll notice that especially on single coils because the flavor will get really, really muted. So, yeah, I should probably screw the base back on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this back out real quick. And what I usually do to clean the bottom out here is I either take a Q-tip or I just roll up a paper towel. I'm going to wipe around the base here. I probably should do it on camera. Just wipe around the base and get that shit all out of there. Possibly, maybe. Come on. Okay, so it's a lot cleaner in there now. Okay, and the whole point of that is I just don't want any conductivity issues. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this coil in here. And what we'll do is I'm going to clean it off and then I'm going to show you what it looks like, how this build is set up. It's pretty easy, it's pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to just burn that off, get all that gunk out of there. Oh yeah, it's lighting on fire now. You guys probably can't see that too well because I have a lot of lighting in here. Yeah, we're just going to get it nice and lit up. Burn all that gunk out of there. Gonna zoom into my mouth. Hopefully I brushed my teeth last night, I don't remember. Yeah, it smells like ass from burning all that gunk off. Get my coffee real quick. That's right, I'm rocking the Spider-Man mug. Alright, let's see. Okay, so get a pair of tweezers out here. I'm just gonna, you guys have never seen this before, but this is how I clean my wicks. Other than when the tweezers have dog hair on them. Just gonna get that nice and cleaned off. I'm gonna come in there and squeeze it up a little bit. There we go. The only thing I hate about cleaning your coils is it really does smell like, ass. It just does. This one I'm going to let fire for a little bit. I'm just going to burn that liquid residue off. And I'm just going to squeeze. Okay. Now if I wanted a really thorough clean, I would take a bottle of water and squirt this on there while I'm firing this, just to make sure we get all that residue off. And you can see it's kind of popping up a little bit. It's actually landing a little bit on my Sigelli. And I just want to get all that residue off. And for the most part I have. The coil looks quite a bit cleaner. Okay. The other part I'm going to do is try to make sure that all my screws are still tight, especially after we've played with the coil. The screwdriver's too big. Let's try this flathead. God damn it. Okay, so everything's real tight in there. Alright. Let me clean out the bottom real quick. And I'm going to pop around the camera so you guys can see me build this and wick this real quick, alright? So let's dive down. Alright guys, so bear with me. As I said a couple months ago, I was working on buying a new tripod. I did, and unfortunately that one broke now too. So, I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got here, and I've got a broken tripod. And it is what it is. And we're just going to make it work, which means if I touch the camera it's going down. I'm going to do the best I can not to do that. So what you're going to see is what they put in my device here is a macro coil. This is a very large coil with a large diameter. Not the most beautiful coil in the world, but actually it's pretty good considering it came with the device. So I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. There's what my wick looks like right now. I'm just trying to curl it up a little bit. It's an extra piece of cotton I had laying around. Just trying to thin it out a little bit. Okay, so let's see. You can see that. There's the build deck on this device. And you can see the two screw holes. It's like a Kayfun setup. Let me get some light over here. Okay. So it's like a Kayfun setup, but you're going to see there's holes in the block there that allow you to just slip the wire into there, which makes it a little bit easier. You can see that right there, and the two screw holes right there. You got two juice channels, both very, very large. Okay, and it's going to be set up with the wick just like a Kayfun, so I'll show you that in a second here. I do notice that the coil's a little off center. I'm going to fix that real quick. The trick is you want to make sure that coil is right over that center air hole. This wire is a little thin, so it's getting burnt up a little bit, which it is what it is. I probably won't reuse this coil again after this. It'll probably just be a new coil. You can only reuse this coil with thin wire so many times, and it just starts to go bad after a while. Alright, so I actually put in a pretty thick piece, but it seems to fit in there just fine because it's a macro coil. So what I'm going to do is we're going to cut this right at the base here. I'm trying to do this on camera. It's a little difficult. Alright, let's see. I'm going to cut it right there. It looks about right. We'll try it, and if it's way off, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so what we're going to work on is throwing some juice in there. And what I've got, if you guys, I don't think I made a video about this. I did not. New Zodis delivery for November. I have some Locomotive Joe. Okay, some 16 milliliters of that. I've got Halcyon Vapors Apache. Okay. I have not tried this one. That's another 6 milligram. I've got Charlie Noble Siren Song. I'm actually gonna want to smell that. It sounds good. Ooh, it's a custard. Definitely a custard. Okay, and we've got Charlie's Custard. I'm guessing this is just a plain custard compared to the other one that tastes like a strawberry. Yeah, that's what it is. So it looks like their specialty is custard flavors. I think we're going to do this one right here. We're going to throw some Charlie Noble in there. Siren Song. And this is a 28 PG72 VG. So this is high VG juice, which I have already used in this device, in the Lemo. Usually I talk about the goods and the bads at the beginning. I'm actually waiting till the end, because I guess that would make sense in a review, right? I know some people do it differently, but that just doesn't make any sense now that I think about it. So now I don't know if these wicks are too long or anything yet. I'm just going to wet them to see where I stand wick-wise on this. Then I usually just take a small flathead, and what I'm going to do is just push it onto that deck. This one probably could use a little more juice. The only problem with wicking with the heavy VG juice is it's hard to tell where you're at in juice because it's so thick it hasn't really built up onto the wick yet. What I want to do is just put it flat against that base. Make sure that the top cap is going to come down with no problem. And it looks like for the most part we were spot on with the wick size from what it looks like. And I can hear them talking about Ray Rice in the background. And the other bedroom. And he's a piece of shit. Alright, let's see. Okay, so that looks really, really good. So, I'll turn this sideways. That's what mine looks like. So nothing's blocking the air hole down there. You're going to see there's no wick down there. There's plenty of air to come through. The wick is running up right against that air channel right there, but it's not dipping into it. It's basically the fluid from air pressure is going to come up right there and run right into my wick, so we should be good on that. I think my last build had a little too much cotton. It was having a problem wicking all the way to the top, but this one looks really, really solid. So that's about, I mean, it's like a Kayfun. You're not going to put a ton of wick in there, so that looks pretty good. Let's see if it, make sure everything is good. We'll fire it. Make sure everything's running good here. And she's firing. Okay, so I'm going to pop it up top. We'll put the funnel on it and we'll vape it and see how it tastes. Alright, so I didn't completely set it up because I want to show you guys this real quick. So this is what it looks like without the glass piece. Obviously the glass is actually really thick. I don't even know if this is glass now that I'm looking at it. It does have some imperfections to it. This might be plastic. This doesn't feel like glass, but if it is, it's really thick. You can see it there. So it is press fit with two small, like it feels like plastic O-rings on the outside there. You can see the discoloration on the top of it there, and that's what that is. That is a different type of material up there, and I think I don't know where I put my hoop top. Anyways, so it's press fit, and what you're going to do is just screw right in there. If I can get all this liquid out of this top cap here. Alright, most of it. So it's going to press fit onto there, and we're just going to screw it down once it gets the bite there. And I don't want to press fit it. It's press fit, so I don't want to screw it down too hard. It will cause it to break. Alright, so I'm going to take the device off real quick. And again, this wasn't a full clean. You can see there's a little bit of residue from the last liquid. I'm not really worried about it. You won't taste it. You may taste it in the first vape or two and then it'll go away. Alright, and this is what it looks like built up. Okay, so we're all good in there. It looks good. Everything looks really solid. Okay. Nothing's moving. Alright, so we'll fill it up real quick. This is going to be a pain in the ass. And do I have a screwdriver? Yeah. Screw this guy out. I'm going to make sure I don't lose the screw. Okay. Now we do have this type of dropper bottle, so I don't know how this is going to work. I have not used a regular dropper bottle on this fill hole yet, so bear with me if this doesn't go as according to plan. It seems to be working. Okay, let's see if I can somewhat put this on camera. There we go. It seems to be working okay with the dropper bottle. Now this is about 5 mils. I like to leave a little bit of airspace in the top, but it's pretty damn close to 5 mils from what I can tell. Now this is a single coil, so you will not go through his juice as fast as you will with the dual coil. That's just a fact. So I do notice my juice does last all day. I usually fill maybe sometimes in the morning or at night, and then it'll usually last me pretty close to 24 hours. So, and that's vaping at about 30 to 35 watts, depending on how I feel like that day. So, the juice does last quite a while compared to a dual coil. I can go through 10 mils in a day with the dual coil. So, and I missed the fill hole on that one because I am shooting juice everywhere. Not a big deal. I'll just wipe it up after we're done. Never understood this guy's working on his garage. He had all summer to do it, built the frame, and then walked away, and now he's working on it today. Mind you, it's like 15 degrees outside. Oh, forgot to mention, happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I didn't do much. I work retail, so as you guys haven't known, so I've been very, very busy over the last 2 weeks. I run all Black Friday planning and merchandising, so as you can imagine, I've been very busy over the last couple of weeks. Okay, so as you can see, this guy gobbled up quite a bit of juice. We're not completely full, but you can see where my juice line is now, and this was obviously a brand new bottle, so it does gobble up quite a bit of juice. I did get some on me here. I'm just going to make sure this is cleaned out here because this does fall into the air holes, obviously, and I don't want this leaking all over the damn place. Okay. There's that. Okay. So relatively clean in there. You can see we're pretty dang full in there. Okay. So I'm going to grab that fill screw, which happened to have stuck to my screwdriver this time. And I got lucky. So sometimes that's what happens. With the smaller screwdrivers, that will not happen because it won't stick on there. But that one did. So what I'm going to do with the airflow control is I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. This is a 12 milligram juice, but it's not a 50-50, so it shouldn't throat hit horribly. It is pretty high VG, so we'll see how that works. I just want to clean this guy off a little bit. I'm flipping him over. He leaked a little juice up the air hole. Alright, we got bubbles circulating already, so everything looks good. A little bit of flooding. There we go. Got right out of there. Alright, so let's vape it at, I've got it at 32.5 watts, so Let's see how that works. 6.2 volts. It's tasty. Ooh, a little bit stronger than I thought it would be, but that is a strawberry custard. It's delicious, actually. I just slurped my coffee. Alright, let's see how this blows. Ooh, that's lung hitting. So I got the jaw loose enough that it is lung hitting pretty well right now. And with 12 milligram, I don't know if I can take another hit. Hang on. See if you can hear that. It's pretty loose. And that's kind of the nice thing, whereas the airflow control is kind of a pain in the ass to get to. However, what you can do is play with it and then just get it to where you like it. So this is actually pretty damn perfect to how I like it. I just kind of guessed on it. It's a really good vapor production. We're shooting at, like I said, 32.5 watts, a little over 6.2 volts. It's fluctuating between 6.2 and 6.3. And it's hitting really well. Really, really well. Ooh, it's a warm vape too, and it's strong. I find that like 32 to 35 in this device works really, really well. It still produces a warm vape, so it's nice. Alright, so that's the Lemo. Up and close, you saw everything. Did build a coil obviously, but otherwise you saw everything else on it. Really cool tank. I'm not a single coiler per se, but with these new devices I can bump it up to my liking, to my warmth liking. The reason I didn't really like single coils is if you go over usually like 25 watts, the device gets too hot, but you don't get that real dense flavor, whereas tanks actually kind of substitute that. You still get a pretty dense flavor because it's all concentrated in there. Device looks really nice. I did get the black, which I think looks really cool. Oh yeah, I got the air holes fully open. I can just tell. So you'll see when you tip it over like this, you can see the steel that's blocking off the air holes. If you tip it over and you just see the tip of the steel, you can tell the airflow is completely open, and that's how I can gauge how full this guy is. Very clean, very sleek looking. It's a cool design, really, really cool design. It's got a ton of airflow with the 4 holes. I mean, massive airflow. So you can draw this up, make it super tight. There's a positive and a negative sign on the bottom, and you can tighten it all the way to the positive or to the negative, or you can loosen up to the positive. Really good vapor production. So, this was such a hard review for me because I like it, but I really think some of the stuff is stupid on it. I really do. It's way better than a Kayfun. It's easier to build than a Kayfun, especially with the block allowing you to put through the post holes and just tighten the screws down. It has tons more airflow. A ton more airflow. Tons more. I don't know English. It has a lot more airflow. The drip tip's really nice on it. It's a nice airy draw. It's a real. It's a pretty large bore. I mean, and it's straight through. It doesn't drop back down. It's a wide bore. It looks really good. It holds a lot of juice, and with a single coil, this guy's gonna last me all day. Even if I vape it while playing Destiny all day, it's gonna hang tight with me. So, overall, it's a really solid device. Pros is the airflow is really, really good. The flavor is really, really solid. This juice is fantastic. Siren Song. This is one of the juices they sent me. I got 4 bottles this month. Really good stuff. Really, really, really good stuff. They sent me, I think, God, almost 65, 70 mils this week. So thank you, Zotis. You guys are awesome. I know a couple of you guys watch my channel, so I appreciate that. Cons, the fill hole, because of how deep it is. Ooh, we're running low. We got 4 minutes of video time left. Where the screw hole is, because it's recessed, it is a pain in the ass to get out. Sometimes you get lucky and you get a wide enough screwdriver that it just pulls it out and holds on there. Other times you have to fiddle with it for 10 minutes to fill. The press fit tank can be a pain in the ass. You got to be careful. Once you put it on there, don't mess with it. If you loosen this guy up, the air it's sealed tight, so if you let that airflow just like Kayfun, it can start to leak a little bit. They say it doesn't leak, however, you did see the liquid in the bottom. That happens to me every time. That's just probably because the airflow is down there. There's going to be that condensation that comes down there, and that can mess with your readouts on your device. So, got to watch that a little bit. Build simple. You got the adjustable pin on the bottom. Everything else is really, really good. So for the price, it's really, really solid. This is a original device. It's not a clone. Really, really cool. Great flavor. Produces lots of clouds. I have been using this exclusively because who needs a dripper when you got something like this in an Orchid, which produce great clouds and great flavor. This one's easier to build and easier to set up than the Orchid, so I've been using mostly this. I take this to work every single day, and I vape it at home too. I mean, it's just 3-second pulls and plenty of clouds around. So that's my thoughts on the Lemo. I think it's really, really cool. Hopefully that helped you out with the build and everything and wicking it. Don't use a lot of cotton. You don't need to. You will start to get a little bit of dry hits. So I'd rather flood than get dry hits, in my opinion. So yeah, overall, I give it a thumbs up. Really cool device. I'm going to use it like crazy. I might even buy a second one just to have a spare. It's always nice to have a spare stuff around here. Especially since my Orchid doesn't see too much love nowadays. So, yeah, overall really good. This juice, fantastic. Thank you, Zodist. Charles Noble's awesome, so I'm interested in trying the other custard flavors. These two I'll get to. I am behind on juice. I'm still vaping Bombies, new stuff, Florgerine. I'm out of it. Really, really good stuff. Just want to mention this does use high VG juice and still wicks pretty damn good. So you can use high VG juice in this device and still have no problem. That's my review, guys. We got the Sigelei coming up next. That'll be my next review. And then after that, I'm still waiting for a couple stuff from Fast Tech to arrive. Probably do a couple drippers, but it's kind of that holiday season, guys. I'll be busy. Got a lot of work to do, and I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as I possibly.